Welcome back to Smiling Faces, the podcast. I'm Victoria Dunn.
And I'm Jess Anguiano, and we are the executive producers of Smiling Faces, our hit show about two girls who discover they're dating the same guy while working at a toxically positive spin studio.
On this podcast, we provide you with unfiltered conversations and answer the question instead of self care, why not revenge? And boy, do we have a guest this week. Miriam Katz is an actress, improviser, writer, teacher, and podcaster. She has a new podcast coming out called The X Appeal that sounds absolutely hilarious. That's dropping September 21st, where she interviews anyone she's literally ever had a dating interaction with. Cannot wait. Oh my gosh. Everyone, welcome Miriam
Thank you,
Katz.
thank you, thank you.
Woo,
I've been
woo,
dancing
woo.
during the intro, so here I
We
am,
always
ready to
dance during the
party. I like the way you put it. Any dating interaction with, that's helpful.
Because I mean, like, what do we even? Because I feel like there's different layers to dating. Like, some people are more substantial, and some person you either grabbed a coffee with, or maybe it was a smash and dash. Like, you never know.
Yes,
You know?
once
a
it was past a
smash and
certain
dash.
age, there has to have been a kiss. That was sort of my feeling because
Mm.
just I think we've all gone on many first dates that you didn't actually feel anything romantic with, and I
Yeah.
thought there was not enough juice there. It has to be something that's a little exciting and something to dig into and to uncover. Although I can imagine if I went on one date and they liked me and I didn't like them back, or vice versa, like something a little
Awkward.
notable, there's always something to talk about.
Okay, so the barrier to entry on the podcast is a kiss happened.
After a certain age, because my first date ever in the 5th grade is episode 4, maybe 5, something like that. Yeah. So I asked a
Adorable.
boy out, and a friend of mine. I sometimes also interview friends for a shorter interview alongside it, friends who I was close to during that time. So I
Oh,
interviewed
great.
a good friend of mine in the 5th grade, from the 5th grade, and she said that I brought a raw sexuality to our 5th grade class.
Wow.
So I was apparently like very ready to go. I had crushes at 5. I was like, let's party. Yeah.
Okay,
Let's go,
that's
boys.
fair. I also
Let's go,
deeply
boys and girls.
understand.
And girls,
Right.
yes.
I deeply
That is-
understand the crush
yes.
at 5 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone remembers their first crush. Like, I remember liking this boy, Peter, and the crush stopped immediately because I walked up to him and I was like, "Hi, Peter." And he went, "Shut up, girl." And I was like,
Wait,
immediately
what
went,
age is this?
kindergarten.
Wow.
Oh.
I love that you kind of put your hair behind your ears.
I was humbled.
You know,
at
no, but I'm
5.
saying before you kind of did like a sultry, like, "Hi, Peter," and then, okay, no, Peter.
It was
Not
my
Mir-
private school plaid jumper that really emboldened me. I was like, "You've got this."
Listen,
You
not
know?
Miriam coming in hot with already like, hey, don't be hitting on the producers here, okay, Miriam? She's coming in hot, all right? Warm us up a little bit. She's gonna be like, now I'm gonna have you guys
I
up.
can't. I've been like this since I was born.
I love it.
Good, change nothing.
I'm ready
Okay,
to
wait,
flirt with both of you.
Okay, good, because we love being flirted with, and we flirt with each other like crazy. And sometimes when Mike lets us, we flirt with him too. But he does remind us he's a very married man.
Super
before
duper
we get
married.
in, yeah, Sue,
Oh, Lucy, of
married.
course.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So we are before we dive into the juicy bits so that you'll have us on your podcast and talk about how we all went on the first date together. Then we have to we always do a little bit of a oh my gosh. Why are the words always
I bring
gone?
it out in people. It's my fault.
Thank
Words are
you.
hard. You're just
I
so
was
hot. It's really
distracted.
throwing her.
You're so hot.
It's also 95 degrees.
Also that.
Also funny that we're not all in
Melting.
the same room because we're all in LA, but fine.
We could have done okay.
know.
We're moving towards that in the future.
Yes.
So, okay, my question to you is: we always chat a little bit about where we're at in our production process. As you know, we're making Smiling Faces, our TV show,
Amazing.
and we've kind of zeroed in on like we're going to start shooting a couple of scenes so we can get some sizzle together as we're pitching.
Nice.
But you are out here making content. You've got all these videos on Instagram, very funny sketches and
Yeah.
things like that. So we kind of wanted to kick over to you and ask what are you doing? Like when
What
you're
are
making your
you?
own productions, what are you?
Who are you? Oh,
So what as far as content comes along as you're making the content, how are you making it? What's inspiring it? Obviously your podcast. Or do you have a different project in the works? Are you also like us, like have a little side gig making something else?
I mean, I have a million billion side gigs, but in terms of social media, I made videos with friends and have for the past 12 years or so, but for the podcast specifically, a lot of the videos have something to do with relationships, so that there's some kind of a branding situation, plus it's kind of generative. If you're just sort of having a overall social media platform presence and you can talk about anything in the entire world, it becomes a little amorphous. So it's been fun to have either the conversations in the podcast be inspiring or just anything that I am thinking about related to relationships. But for me, if we're talking about creativity right now, it's really nice to either have an assignment or a collaborator or some kind of, not exactly message, but at least theme to just to get you to make things, because you can make things about pencils. If you were like, you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to make a funny video about pencils, I would. And
And the pencil lovers would follow it. They'd love it. They'd share
I mean,
it. They'd tag
I
it. Yeah.
think, forget it. This conversation's over. I'm starting anew. But yes, I think there is something
Podcast is
about,
over.
there's something about, I was sort of resistant to being very on social media kind of until this, because I realized I really needed to be for this. And it was really nice to do it in conjunction with this, because now it's all semi-related to relationship stuff. I mean, there's going to be other just absurd things, but generally speaking, that's when I'm thinking of things to put on, it's something related. And then there's also clips from the podcast, but so those all kind of go hand in hand. But thank you
And when you
for looking.
Oh, I was gonna say, when you say absurd things, you're definitely not talking about videos of you dancing around in a giant penis costume.
No,
No,
that
not
was
that.
very serious.
No, that's grounded work.
Yes. I
That's
felt
very
like
grounded work, Jess.
So sorry.
that was actually my PhD dissertation defense. Yeah, but I don't know if that was quite your question. But yeah, I think also if we're talking about production stuff, I think just ease. Yeah, so something that I can film without the help of somebody else often.
Yes.
Or if it's a
Beautiful.
friend just on a tripod and we film each other, but just to keep it, I mean, that's also just so that it actually gets made. But I kind of like a kernel of an idea and then you go and you make it. And that's why it's also so nice to have other friends who make things, because I have asked a couple friends to make things in the last couple months. They've been like, oh yeah, maybe. And I'm like, no. I'm talking,
As
let's
soon
make
as-
this dumb thing now or in the next
Totally.
couple days, because that's kind of when the kernel has energy. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think like whatever you can do to get yourself inspired. And I think also, and Victoria, you do improv. Jess, do you also?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So yes, I think that helps so I love this is like a creativity podcast now, but I think that's so helpful just to get
Yeah.
your brain upside down, just to know that it doesn't matter. I think for many years of my life, I thought everything mattered and that you had to do it really well. And look, certain things, and I'm sure producer Mike agrees, I like the sound to be excellent so
Mhm.
that the insanity of the podcast can pop more. I don't want it to be a mess that way.
Right.
But I think generally speaking, if you can get yourself to be making things all the time and not be super perfectionist, that is a dream.
Totally.
Which
And
is
relationships is like a ripe
yeah.
kind of focus to have too. Because one, I mean, that's the biggest counterpoint that everyone has. That so many people have dated or something has happened. Even, I don't know, people that are celibate, you still like talk to someone that you're attracted to. Like there's always something there. And I feel like it's always ripe with content. You can kind of map over that stuff for anything. Like we talked about the Kendra lady before that took over TikTok. Like you don't have to have
Yeah.
amazing quality of stuff. It's just being raw and kind of real about what's going on. Like that chick was just walking around on her phone being like, and then guess what? And like that was it. Capture the world.
So
It doesn't have to
funny.
be
We're
crazy.
here to watch it. A lot of us
Yeah.
are sitting inside like me today when it was 100 degrees was like, I'm not leaving the house. So what's happening in the outside world? Scroll,
Yeah.
scroll, scroll. Well, and I do
Right.
have to say something that the reason why I wanted to ask you about production specifically for yourself is because I think that your videos are super high quality.
Oh wow.
I
Thank
was
you.
really impressed, especially in a social media context, because to go out, to set it up, to do the editing. Do you do all your own editing?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Go off.
Yeah, your videos are super high quality. I was enjoying watching that from a producer standpoint. I was like, "Woo,
Nice, thank
okay,
you.
ma'am, I see you doing this out all on your own, or like with the help of like one other person who's just like, yeah, got you. I pressed record,
Yeah,
and you go make the magic, and the sound is good, which is everything. And it's not hard to make the sound good, you know?
No,
I
sound
mean,
is
it can be,
yeah. No,
but
sound is
No,
super
but that
important.
is very important for any
Yeah.
kind of, well, really any medium. But they talk about that. They're like, if your audio and your video aren't good, you could be the funniest person, have the best content. No one is going to give a shit.
Nope.
Because I have to get over the barrier of that. Like I've heard so many different podcasts, or like I'll watch a movie on Tubi because I love a Tubi movie. And anytime,
Really?
oh yeah, it's a blast over there.
Did not know that
Wow,
you were
I didn't
in
know that
Tubi.
either.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
What are we
so much
missing?
fun. Oh,
Full
like
stop. Pull the car
Yeah,
over. Tell us
agreed.
about
okay,
Tubi. Yes.
so on Tubi, there's movies where there's no like lighting kits. So whatever light that's on a scene is maybe like the key light. So that lamp in the corner, that's the only light source for this scene.
Because it's
Or
a Tubi production? These are
It's-
originals?
these are originals, but not like Tubi originals. Is people independently making things and being like, "Hey Tubi, upload my thing," and they're like, "You got it, champ." It's
No
amazing.
problem.
So like the barrier to
Wow.
entry is a little bit lower, but it's so fun because genuinely anyone can put content up,
Nice.
but then anyone can put content up. So it's fascinating to watch. Like you'll hear like audio jumps and stuff, you can tell. And it's kind of fun, I think, from a producer and creative standpoint to watch this stuff and be like, oh, their audio source is just the camera, like they're not mic'd, or oh, they're only using a boom, or like the room is too hollow and they're echoing. Like you can kind of take a
Is it
creative.
out there stuff, kind of like cable access? Is it odd?
It feels about like that level.
Yeah.
There can be hard jumps because it really is just anybody that got some friends together and shot a thing and it's uploaded.
Tubi recap podcast.
I'm telling you, it's.
Listen.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Tubi movies.
I love that this whole thing has turned into a discussion about creativity because when I used to be an actress, and when
You
I was
still
out,
are.
yeah, it doesn't leave. It never
Look
leaves
at your face.
you.
Come on.
Stop! Look at your face. Stop it, Miriam. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm
I
doing
forgot
it.
what I was just saying.
Like
Nobody's pointing at me
ladies,
this-
please.
sorry, it got really hot. So when I was working as an actress, I was constantly, people would say, "Oh my gosh, how are you doing this? How are you work?" Because I worked in Denver and New Mexico and Utah and a weird region, and people would say, "How are you doing this full time?" And one, I'd say every audition is the opportunity to perform, and two, you just when you're not getting paid to do it, you can still do it. That's
Yeah.
what's happening now. It's happening 10 times over. You can make something. We could put this whole podcast on Tubi if we wanted. Just say, "Hey Tubi, here you go." And
There'll be a wedding at the end and we'll be all set.
There we go. With only my
I'm
ring light
in.
as the light source for the scene.
So good. In another room.
Exactly.
Wait, I have my old wedding dress in my closet. Do we just pull this out and make this
Yes.
happen?
Yeah, I've got
Wow.
a tie somewhere.
And just shooting a short film real fast.
Yeah, we'll just whip it together.
But no, Jess, I love what you're saying, that it's
Yeah.
accessible and it's also keeping us, I mean, however sane we are, it's keeping us sane in as much as we're inspired and
Yeah.
excited and have a way to do it. Yeah.
Because you need that too. Because like
Yeah.
you can't keep waiting on everybody to hire you for anything. You kind of, I think it
Now
feeds
nobody,
a beast
yeah.
too. Well, also
Yeah.
nobody's fucking
Yeah.
hiring. So like you
Yeah.
need to be able to make your own things all the time because there's nothing really being. I mean, there's some things being shot. I'll see every now and then, like a production setup, and I see the little yellow location sign,
Yeah.
and
you're
I
like,
genuinely go,
"Oh."
"Good for them," and
Yeah.
keep driving.
But I think it's
They're
all kind of an
working.
experiment in what happens. So right now, what is going to happen to all of these creative people in Los Angeles specifically? Something. I mean, I don't have kids and I'm not going to have kids, even though I like them very much. And I think of that
yeah.
as
You
an
don't have to like
experiment.
them.
I do
Yeah.
though. That's like
Yeah.
the interesting thing, is that I love them and
That's
also I'm
good.
completely happy to not have
Not
them.
gonna happen.
But I'm just
Mhm.
creating a parallel because I think my life is a little bit, what happens to a woman if she doesn't have children? And similarly, what happens to creatives when they do not have
A
production?
platform.
Something.
Production.
You're
Yeah.
going to do something.
Yeah.
a renaissance, some sort of renaissance. I can't wait to see what comes. And I always say this too. When I was working all the time in this weird, in this strange sort of market and not in LA and not in New York, there was always something that they wanted to hire an actor or a singer or a voiceover person to do, from, reenactments of, old timey stuff to actual television shows. And I will also say this. There's something amazing about getting together with your friends, your people, and making your own work. Whereas when I was working on as a day player and like grabbed a 5 and under role, you're on set for 15 minutes. You're an hour and a half in hair and makeup. You come on set, you're on set for 15 minutes. It's like such a blip, such a moment. It's such a fast breath. That whole thing, that excited thing that you get is almost, you barely even notice it because you're just like in there, you get the job done, you leave. Same with voiceover. You kind of go in, you record, you do the job, and then you leave. It's a job. So that joyful part, this like us sitting here on this podcast, that's my creative joy. That's where I'm finding, the fuck it, let's just get some people together and make it happen. And then if it's good and it's fun and it's funny and your love and heart is in it, everybody's listening. Like y'all are out there listening.
Yeah.
So anyway, I love that you have that behind you too. We totally turned this into like a creative talk,
But
didn't
it's
we?
so important.
Wait,
it's so important.
But I do actually want to talk X appeal though.
We have
Because I'm
to,
very
'cause we're
fascinated.
dying to know.
I was like, because first of all,
I will tell you everything.
Perfect.
Yes.
It was like, we're all about unconventional healing here because our route here is revenge.
Mhm.
And is this kind of the process of making this podcast? Was it like self-discovery? Is like, oh, I want to learn more about me and like how I was in relationships, or is it like a revisiting?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say, is it revenge? I'd say it's not. It's almost the opposite. But there is such a healing in it. I think I felt the heaviness of how many people I had dated and how many stories weren't quite finished. It wasn't even like, oh, that person or that person. It was almost like all of them at some point. I just felt like, oh, I didn't finish. I don't know why that happened. I have things I haven't said yet. It was like, okay, there was a thud. And then the idea came and I had to go in. First of all, because I have this quote content, aka all the people that I've hooked up with, but also I am not afraid of talking to them. And I want to know either if I did something that didn't feel right for them, or I want to be able to tell them gently, or I want to ask questions, I want to figure something out. It's really like, what happened in your mind?
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's
I've learned
interesting.
I've recorded 13. And I also, I have a
13?
list of 111. I want to do 100.
I love that.
Yes.
I remember you saying 100 episodes.
I have truly learned like a major thing from every single episode. Just things you don't know because you don't tell people things at the moment. And during a breakup, everyone is kind of emotional. And so you're not saying everything. So some truth is coming out, but the whole story's not. And years later, when you're both in different situations and I'm asking and I'm clearly very open to it, if the answer is you thought I was annoying or you didn't think I was cute, I'm down. Like I am open to hearing it.
Yeah.
And it's been, so just in terms of my own curiosity, I've been like, and even somebody that I was dated in high school was on meth when we dated, and I didn't know.
You didn't know?
And that's happened to me before. That's happened to me with cocaine, and that's happened to me with heroin. It's like, I don't know. I just missed it. Because
were there track marks on the arms or no?
No, the heroin. I don't know where he put the heroin. That was like when I was. But that was when I was.
I don't know how drugs
24.
happen.
My!
Yeah.
You don't
but yeah, it just
drugs.
happens. But this happened, when I was like 15, 23, and 24. I just like completely missed like drug use. I mean, that's not like the primary story of my life, but it's this one example of things that you just miss.
Yeah.
Because you are into someone and you don't even know how they're supposed to act or how anyone's supposed to act. But just these things of years later, finding things out feels right. And then also getting to tell people that they were important to me Because even all these people that I'm not with anymore, so many of them changed my life.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah. So it feels really
Wait,
good to be able to articulate why.
That's
I
amazing.
I'm like so inspired, and I have a million follow-up questions because first I kind of got to know when you're tracking because of course I don't know about you, Victoria, but I've been thinking for myself, like, where would I even start and who would I start with and do I want to know? And as you're
That's the
making
thing.
that list, yeah, like click
I'd be
like who
terrified.
do I want to who do I want to talk to, who don't want. And I'm also like, how does that conversation happen when you reach out to someone and you're like, hey, remember when we had that like kind of moment in time and that fling or that situationship or like, or we dated like, or we were married for 7 years or whatever? Like, how do you have that conversation? How do you
I,
start it?
the tracking down is first. So there's some people I really don't know where they are. And so I'll see if there's someone I know who maybe knows where they work. And then, I
Mhm.
like had to email someone's law firm, but I didn't want to say anything about it in the email. So I was like,
Ooh.
hey, could you call me? And then he called me and then I explained it. And that was the guy from 5th grade. So he sort of thought either I was asking him for some reason about that or I was asking for legal advice. But, it's not like we had a bad relationship. We just had never really talked ever because it was a 5th grade romance.
Right.
And so there's the tracking down, which is different for everyone. And even through the trailer, which is out,
Yeah.
people have come to me, which is incredible.
What?
And also there's
Oh.
someone at the end of there's like white whales that throughout the season I mentioned, like, because people whose names I don't know. Some guy I made out with on a bus. I don't know his name, but I know some details. I know what year it was. I know he was in basic training in the Army, like whatever. Maybe
Okay.
maybe he'll find me.
Mhm.
But so there's the tracking down, and then I usually leave a voice memo. That's kind of my ideal way. I try to keep it to 2 minutes, but explain it just so they get the nuance. There's so much that's missed, even if I do have their email or a DM or whatever. It just could be misconstrued, and I think it could be misconstrued as a gotcha podcast. I'm trying to
Yep.
cancel you because everybody's cancelable, or I'm trying to tell the world what a jerk you are because I think a lot of people feel that way about exes.
Yeah.
They're sort of
Right.
like, that's, I think, part of the ethos of the podcast is I think people say, oh, this person is such a jerk because we're not together. It's like, no, like,
It just didn't
you
work.
didn't
It
work.
didn't work out.
Something was going on with them. Something was going on with you. Like, I think taking some ownership over it, but also realizing that it was a different time or whatever the story is. And part of it is like, what did happen? But so then once I send that out, some people have given me soft nose, or some people are shy because I'm not choosing it based on, I'm not like booking comedians.
Right.
So some people have never been on a podcast and have zero interest in being on social media or anything.
Mhm.
So there's that part of it. And then there's people have families or are in serious relationships. Not everybody's partners are into it. So many different reasons. And so I've been inspiring people to take part. And sometimes that requires a phone call, a lunch, having certain parameters, or sometimes even just hearing the trailer, they're like, oh, okay, I see what this is a
Right.
little bit. And then some people just are kind of knows now, but I can feel that I'm going to be doing the project for a while. So if it needs to be down the line, that's totally fine. But I just have belief that people, especially I think when people get older, they're kind of like, who cares? So I think
Years.
like it's
They're
a
like, it
little
was
more
20
like
years ago.
yes, and we're
Yeah.
also in society, it's so much more normal to share yourself. I don't even know that I would do this podcast 20 years ago.
Right.
It's just, it's like, I think it's so common and so normal to share your personal life. So yeah, but then there was a Orthodox rabbi. We dated when
Love.
he was just an Orthodox guy, and we studied the Torah together and held hands, but we were like dating when we
Oh,
were
wow.
19, so we didn't kiss. But
Right.
yes, like for
But he still
him,
got to come. He was still part of the
he was,
story.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
romantic. We did discuss that. I was
Yes.
like, but the holding hands. But
Yeah,
yeah,
like ice cream or something sweet.
Yeah. Ice
very
cream is a
cute.
kiss. If somebody takes you to ice cream, that's a kiss.
Aw.
Let's be real. Come on.
That's the
counts.
quote that's the opening quote. Ice cream is a kiss. It's on a pillow.
There
if
we go.
somebody,
Yeah.
Cross stitched.
But yes, I
yeah,
think there's that was somebody who had to think about whether it was appropriate, and then he decided it was, which is, I mean, anyone who says
Wow.
yes is so cool. That is
yes,
Totally.
so cool.
it's
Yeah, because
so
it's someone
That's
that's
cool.
not
open
center facing or like a public figure or doesn't want that. So yeah, that's a huge step to agree to be like, yeah, I'll talk about this
publicly.
publicly and just see what's going to happen with it. That's brave, honestly.
Amazing.
And
Has
the trust that you instill in them, they must trust you to some degree. And the charm, of course, because we're delighted by you. There's just like something about it. I'd be like, yeah, I would say yes to that. Heck yeah, because of who you are specifically. You know, I'm not so sure that my exes would say yes to me. They'd be like, I don't know, Jess, you're going to get
Right.
ugly.
Well, has there been anyone that you were concerned about reaching out to, but you're like, I got to do it for the plot?
I'm going to reach out to everyone. There's no one I will say no to. I will, not try to get on, but yeah, I mean,
You're
there's
spooked by a
people
few?
who were spooked is a great word for it. I think, yeah, just people who weren't necessarily so nice. And I
Mm-hmm.
think also part of it is I have to get over the embarrassment because these are exes. So if they say no, that is a rejection. Or,
Yes.
there's somebody I dated who was like kind of famous, and it's an anonymous podcast, but like, do your research. But, I had to ask him so many times.
Oh, really?
And it's like, we really dated. Like, we were really together. We didn't just hook up. And I had to ask him for like a year. And he kept
Sir.
saying yes.
But
But
then
then it
would
was
push
like,
it.
Oh, I'm
how's
busy.
Tuesday or
Oh,
Wednesday or Thursday? And then just nothing. And finally I was
Mhm.
like, is it okay with you if I go through your manager? And I did. And that's how we set it up. But it's like, this is somebody that I loved. Like, it's, but it's like, because
Wow.
of the project, I have to do it. And also it's like dealing with, it's like we all do improv. Dealing with embarrassment is like
It's par
important
for
in
the
life.
course.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
essential. So it's fine. But yeah, people maybe saying no, or people being rude, or people thinking it's dumb or whatever. It's like, I just have to deal with all of that. And I'm in for all of that. And I'm in for weird podcasts because I make sure that the second they get here, we sit down and start talking. So you can hear shakiness, you
minute
can
of it.
hear how weird it is, you hear the like, it's like, yeah, it's gotta be.
Do
Oh,
they
I
come
love how
over
raw
to
that
yours?
is.
They, as much as humanly possible. Yeah.
I'm dying to know, and if it's a little tiny bit of a
Nope.
spoiler,
Nope.
please.
Oh.
I,
Oh,
I
did I hook up
no,
with
I'm
him?
dying. I was gonna say, I'm dying to know. Has when you're reaching out to these exes, has anybody been like, so are you still available? Like, is it
Not
sparking anything?
explicitly, but I do think people think it's flirty a little bit, or at least
Yeah.
like reaching out. Or on the other end of the spectrum, I've told some people about it, like old friends, like sent the podcast to, and they were like, oh my God, when you first sent this, I thought you were asking me to be on it because I thought I was like, did we ever kiss? So that's also funny because it's like, in your 20s, you kiss everybody.
Truly.
Or me, or just me. But
no,
yes.
I'm with you
Yeah.
on that. You just kiss everybody, or you get kissed by everybody.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
and I also want to know: have you reached out to anybody who was like, "What are you talking about? We didn't really date." Like, or
I
is everybody
don't
like,
know, but I haven't, I've only reached out to 13.
okay,
Fair.
So we'll
13 that
see.
said yes, or everyone you've reached
Oh,
out to?
I
said
guess
yes?
there's a few people that are,
Okay.
I wouldn't call it no's, but are not quite yet.
I
Not
see,
yeah.
I
quite
see.
ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think anybody that I've yet reached out to. I feel like I missed an answer though. There was something. Anyway.
Did you kind of go chronologically down through your life and list everything and be like, I'm just going to cherry pick? Or is it kind of like, oh shit, them? And then like reached out?
I mean, I made the list, and then the first person I recorded, I was then dating. And
Oh.
then there was somebody I recorded early on who is a very good friend of mine, and I'm about to give the toast at his wedding.
Oh.
And then it was a little bit intuitive, and I wanted the first season to be a range of when in my life it was, but also levels of relationships. So somebody that I went on, 6 dates with was interesting. There's one woman that I hooked up with once. She was a stripper, and I hooked up with her in the booth, and she like took my dress off and stuff, like a hot
Good.
situation. And I
Very
found
hot, yeah.
her.
Very good.
And then thank you. And then
Great work.
and then some were years-long relationships. So I wanted a real range. And I also think just marketing-wise, season 1, I sort of wanted to be able to say, this is the famous guy, this is the sex addict,
Yep.
this is the guy who was in an
Mhm.
open marriage, a little
The
bit
buzzy.
of like, yes, like, or at least clear. And then there's always things that are more nuanced and less like, here's the shiny thing, but will be
Yeah.
as good of episodes, but just, yeah. I think season 1, I wanted a range and I wanted to be able to like explain it succinctly.
Nice. And you're actively dating right now?
I am dating somebody. Like I'm dating somebody. Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to
Yeah.
say, I saw that you were a champion of online dating.
I totally am. It was not me saying there's 4 people who I've already recorded who I met on Hinge.
Oh,
Beautiful.
And
Okay.
great.
including the guy whose wedding I'm giving a toast at, I met on Hinge, and I met my boyfriend through him.
Okay, see, it works. It works,
Oh,
guys.
I
It
think,
works. Wait, what?
but also sponsor me. But yeah,
Sponsored by Hinge.
yes, I am
Hinge, we're
dating
taking
someone,
calls.
and that's been sponsor both of us, the co-sponsor.
Yeah,
This is
let's go.
obvious.
Let's go. Yeah,
We're fun, clearly, and we will
obviously.
tout you.
Right.
Yes.
And it's been, I mean, it's weird to talk about dating as utilitarian, but it's been kind of oddly useful, I think, in terms of, your question was there someone who's like, oh, you're flirting with me? And I think sometimes in the episode, it really opens something up emotionally. But it's not really about fully opening up. It's like opening it up during the course of the conversation and then being like, bye.
Thank
They're
you.
like,
So it's
"Thank you for your
not about,
time."
but I will admit that if just knowing myself, if I was not in a relationship with somebody I really like, I think I would maybe let it get a little messier. Even just emotionally, even if I wasn't hooking up with people, I can imagine texting someone after and it just something I know myself. So it's been really nice to have that clarity of we can open this up emotionally during the course of this. And absolutely we do. But I'm not looking. It's
There's no
not me
agenda.
looking. It's
Right.
No
well, the
second
agenda is
agenda.
closure rather
Yeah.
than find me a partner now. It's
Beautiful.
really like goodbye. Yeah.
Has there been any kind of
go
consistent
ahead.
pattern that you've heard from people of all these different relationships where like there was a pattern of like, oh, I felt this way or I perceived it this way, and you were kind of like, oh, let me look within now. This is a pattern of feedback I've gotten.
Oh. Well,
Damn, girl,
I
what a question.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Victoria. Coming in hot. Sorry, just had to
This is a
do some
radio
love.
program.
Mostly because I really want to know whether like that would. I feel like if I went and talked to people from my past, they'd all be like, "Yeah, you're really critical." So I'm like curious.
Oh, interesting. I think for me, I've always been sensitive. And I think I maybe didn't always let myself admit that I was as sensitive as I am. So I think there's a little bit of like the story for me of my sensitivity and my vulnerability, which everybody has. But I grew up in the Northeast, lived in New York forever. It was just like, whatever. So I think
Yes.
that's been really interesting to see that as a pattern. And yeah, I think earlier dating, I let people not like me as much as they needed to actually be with them. Like I let that stand.
Girl, that's a
Oh.
testimony. I understand that
Ooh,
deeply.
yeah.
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 I think you think that's how
Yeah.
you don't know how it's supposed to be. You don't know how it could be. And
When somebody really likes you.
they should
when somebody
You
really
really
should,
like
but you
you.
allow a lot more, I think, when you're younger.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe, I mean, ideally, that is changing as we talk about the patriarchy a little more. It's
I think
possible.
so. It seems like the youngins are really having less tolerance for bullshit, and I'm really happy for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, there's the curve seems to be, I don't know what the word is, but I feel like we're getting over the hump of things, and people who are dating are talking more. They are letting their emotions sort of like lead the way in a healthy way.
Yeah.
It seems. And I would say that just because when I date, I tend to skew to younger men because I find them to be more emotionally intelligent. And that's not a
Wow.
slam against older men. It's just that this younger generation is being brought up by people that are encouraging, crying, and there's no crying in baseball is no longer really a
Yeah.
term that we celebrate. It's like, whoa, somebody's got to let something out. You let them out. A lot of more I love you going out in the world. Love is love
Oh,
is love is love is love is love is
wow.
love. Like that's
Right.
what I'm experiencing, which is why I'm always dating a little younger, because I'm like, well, at least I'll get some decency out of it, you know?
Yeah,
So
amazing. Yeah, I mean that's our like optimism. We'll see what it really is. Yeah, but I that is one pattern that I noticed that, and it's not even, oh, that was when I was younger. That might have even been 5 years ago, but I have sort of experienced, okay, I wouldn't do that now. And that's a nice feeling. But also I
Beautiful.
would say it's felt so good to be loving in these conversations. And it's not like every single conversation, there's definitely complexity, but
yeah.
that has felt so good to, yeah, be able to tell somebody that they did something that helped me, even if it was really hard to be with them. It changed me in some way. It was a catalyst, because I think
Yeah.
it's meaningful who we're attracted to and who we're drawn to. Even these little things, literally, even the stripper, who it was 5 songs. She was like, I'm not charging you for the, and then we just hooked up. And
Dang, that's so
she was
hot.
she's such a cool healing person. She says all sorts of different people come to her,
Yeah.
and she sort of makes them feel sexy and like gets
Yeah.
them back in their body and makes them feel like comfortable with themselves and their sexuality. I was like, oh my God, you're a full healer. It's so beautiful. Yeah. And she was super
Yeah.
funny and super cool. I was like, oh, I am drawn to some really good people. I definitely have my moments, but I like, yeah, I was
Girl,
like,
we
oh,
all
these are some
do.
cool people.
Oh,
Oh my
I know.
God. There's
Oh,
someone
yeah.
there's someone who I want to be on, who I have always called the devil. So it's like, we'll see what that conversation is.
Right.
Oh, we
This was
love
gonna-
the nicknames. We
That's
love
gonna
that. Victoria's
say.
currently seeing Whole Foods right now.
Oh, I know.
I just got dumped by Target.
So I
We're
was
into
gonna say, I was like,
superstores a lot.
love a nickname.
I
Yeah, I
love
was
a
like,
nickname.
what's like like a fun nickname that you've had for somebody? Have you done that
Bone
too?
broth.
Bone
And he
broth.
didn't know that was his name. So during the interview, I was like, do you know what your name is? And he goes, ooh, let me guess. And then he guessed 12 things. And it was so funny to hear him guess what he thought I would have called him. I mean, I also call him sex addict because he's a sex addict. But bone broth before that was clear. Yeah.
When you said bone broth, it's like I could picture him.
I
It's
know
like
exactly who that guy is.
exactly who that guy is. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, get it, girl, get a little bone broth in there.
Yes.
Good for your
Yes.
soul.
Sensual.
Oh, I love it. Like
Oh
genuinely,
my
the amount
gosh.
of names that
Oh,
I've
it's so
given.
fun.
Like I've got a Hallmark back
Yep.
there because a lot of
Mhm.
feelings were involved from him.
Yep.
There's a bucket hat because,
Oh.
of course, a bucket hat.
I like the emotional one. I like that there's a
Yeah,
hallmark in there.
Hallmark.
That's beautiful.
My friend has one named Charmin because he literally clogged her toilet and then ran out.
But that's such a nice name. She could have called him Shit Toilet. That
Totally.
is so sweet. Your friend is nice.
Right? She wouldn't. That's probably the nicest version because she will get violent.
I've heard some of those stories. She will get violent. I have one that I called Kayak because he hand built me a kayak.
Oh my goodness
Oh,
gracious. How long were you with that
hand-built.
person?
Not long. He was the last person I dated before I got married. And he was that kind of person. He just like handcrafted a kayak, and I just think that I still have a blanket he gave me because it was so soft.
Wow.
What in the notebook kind of life did you live?
Listen,
Is this a
the
person to
best.
revisit? I know we're just
Right.
naming one thing about him, but it's like I feel like Devin might be the one. I just named him that.
Because like,
Gotta do something.
I was like, wait,
Kayak, sure, but
like, did I miss kayak?
well, come on, we do improv. You gotta like add a
No,
specificity.
I love it. You know what? I'm just now. I'm like, God, I don't even remember his full real name.
Isn't that
Betcha I could
awful? when you
He's just
don't-
kayak. Oh,
You're like,
that's
that
just
so
person
good.
was inside of me. Why can't I remember their
Right.
name? It's so awkward.
Dude,
He-
when you just said inside of me, I'm like, sex is crazy.
It
Like I just
is.
literally was like, is that what we're doing?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And like
Oh,
all
yeah.
the different ways of doing it. It's
Yeah.
and like the ways that you connect with people in all the different ways that you're doing sex.
It's
It's very
crazy.
crazy. And then you
Yeah.
go back and think like, I can't believe that I did that thing with that person. It's like if we were talking about, when people do acro yoga, like where they're like, you're like laying your on top of somebody's feet,
Oh,
acrobatic
yes.
yoga.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that, but with sex. Where you're like, I can't believe that I'm doing this physical thing with you.
Yeah, you're like bent into weird angles, like trying to hold in a
Yeah.
fart with someone and you don't even remember their name
Always
anymore. That's
with the
crazy.
farting. Always,
Always.
yes.
I
I
always had
hate
gas.
I hit on a guy once on New Year's Eve. He was DJing and he's wearing all white, and he was like, "We've had sex."
No.
I was like, "Oh yeah, you're that guy." Like I remembered once he
Oh,
said it,
right.
but I was like, "Oh."
Good. It's so
That's because you're
tough.
that girl. That's so
Mhm.
hot. That is super hot of you to be like,
And I was hitting on,
"Oh,
you know what I mean? Like I was trying to get that. He's like, "You've gotten
You've
this."
you
already
had
done
it,
it.
and you walked away."
I
Miriam,
did.
you walked away.
Well, he texted too much. He
Oh.
was like too like,
See,
like
he's thumbs.
Thumbs.
I mean, it
that's
felt like cocaine. I was like,
thumbs.
relax.
Oh,
Too
buddy.
much.
Wait, that is the perfect segue into my favorite segment. We have to talk about your smiling faces moment for the week. And as you all know, this is your moment that you guys have felt like you have grinned and bared it through. And I am dying to know, Miriam, if you want to kick us off, or I can have
Sure.
Victoria soft warm us. Okay,
No,
Miriam,
happy
kick us
to.
off. What is your
Okay.
smiling
I'm gonna
faces
give
moment? for
two
the-
just because right this second I had to
Yes.
turn off the AC, and sorry to take anyone else's, but like I'm actually very good at heat, but 98 is intense.
Yeah.
So
We're
I think that's
uncomfortable.
like the sort of today, this week, sort of lighter one. And
Yes.
then I'll say it is a privilege in many ways, but it is very intense to do a lot of creative work and then also do a lot of work for pay. And I like the work I do for pay too, but it is like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
So just that, the like, whoa, like I just am doing a lot all the time. And I actually truly like all of it. Like I ghostwrite books and I
Oh.
help people with public speaking. Hire me. But yes, it's like I love it all. It's just to do all of that all the time and then be like, oh, I will record an intro now and then edit it in. It's just,
It's a lot.
it's a lot. Yeah. It's also
It's-
so fun and it's the life I chose, but it's kind of, I'd say that's my smiling face this week. Like, keep
Fair.
going.
I'm making
I
a
was like,
podcast, and I'm
Yes.
a teacher, and I am a coach, and I am an actress, and I'm a voiceover, and I'm a producer, and I edit my own videos. Yeah.
Those
And
are
then
the
like
moments.
also hobbies, like, and I love,
Friendships.
crocheting.
Being a,
Yeah,
a
friendships,
full-rounded person. Yeah, exactly.
But it's
Like,
good.
nothing-
It's better. It's
Yeah,
just, it
yeah.
takes chi.
For sure.
Full life. Wow. That's a beautiful smiling faces moment. Yeah. Grinning and bearing it through the big life choices you made.
Yes.
Beautiful.
What about you, Victoria? What are you grinning and bearing it through this week?
I would say the fact that I, thank God for improv, pivoted on a dime this week because I walked in I feel like I've shared a little bit on the show about how I have a very torrid relationship with human resources at my day job, as well as my supervisor. And because I always expect smoke from them, I was summoned to human resources office and I just assumed I was getting rid up again. So I walked in with the most like negative, defensive energy possible. And I was just like, here we go again, these stupid motherfuckers. Like, I was ready. And like my fists were clenched, my teeth were tight. And then as soon as I walked in, I went, yeah. And they were like, what do you think about this gift basket?
Oh my God.
And immediately I was like had to like recalibrate in the moment. I was just like, yeah, it's
What
gorgeous.
about this edible arrangement?
Do you think our people would like this?
It was so uncomfortable. So I had to like
Wow.
surpass my rage and like dial it back from 12 to 2 immediately and be like, I think they are gonna love that. And you guys should go give it to them immediately. It was
Thumbs up.
thank you.
But
'Cause I
also,
was
what a
like,
funny thing to call you in for.
right. I was like, why? But I did come in very pissed. So
So funny.
I don't think they
Mm.
clocked it. So I think I'm okay. We live to see
You're a
another
very
day.
good actress. You're a very good actress.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hire me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this.
Plug, plug,
This is
plug.
the trend. This is the trend.
Plug, 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 plug. Yes.
Yes.
This week I went on a first date with a
Sexual.
perfect.
Hire her.
Hire
me.
her.
Yes,
Lick her.
yeah. Swipe right, please. Thank you. The bio is working. And the person was actually really very, very respectful. I had pulled my chair out. No, I don't know the last time.
Very nice.
He pulled my chair out and I thought he was pulling it out for himself to sit down. And he was like, sit. And I'm like, right.
Damn. The damage
I
runs
know
deep.
what I'm doing. Yeah. But my
Get
God.
your hands off my chair.
Yeah, sir. I am trying to sit down. Get out of the way. It's fine. We're doing fine. So my smiling faces moment is that I just can't with these like just tech bro manosphere podcasting. It's like he has to know immediately. 6 minutes into the conversation is bringing up like the political climate and that he's a little conservative and like, what do we think about Planned Parenthood being brought into these communities? And doesn't that force them to, or create an opportunity for them to make a choice? And I was like, sir, I'm just interested in what your favorite color is. I just want to know where your favorite pizza place is. Can we just reel this back? Like, we can get into the deep stuff later. It's fine. Now, again, he also did, in his defense, he swung back around. He was like very balanced in his thoughts, but he had to bring up this conversation. And I think people that are plugged into that kind of manosphere, Joe Rogan podcast world, I know, I can't believe I said his name on our podcast.
Ew. These are
Bleep that
hallowed
out.
airwaves.
No, I'm sorry. But
Dare you.
they can't help it. They just have to voice their opinion because they heard, somebody say it, in that lane. And I just had to take a minute of like, hold on, before you just turn this whole thing on its head. I took a minute, took a breath, and said, just keep pushing through the conversation. See if there's something on the other side of it.
Great.
And there was. But boy, did I grin and bear through that. Boy,
I mean, LA is funny in a way that's different from. Did you guys live in New York at some point?
No,
Okay.
I wanted to.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's wild.
fine.
But
it's cold.
But LA is yes. But LA is interesting just because you sort of think someone is of one culture and then you're like, oh, you just said a weird thing. And so
Yes.
dating can be different because I feel like in New York everyone's kind of the same.
No, you
New York
kind of
City,
assume.
everyone's kind of the same.
Yeah, I think there's like a trapping of LA. You kind of assume everyone's of the same hive mind
Yes,
of
you
like,
do.
yeah, we support and uplift everyone. And then you'll talk to someone like there's a person I talked to who I had immense respect for. Admittedly, I lost it mostly over her choice of water, but it should have been over this,
we have a
which
thing.
was
We have a thing about water on this podcast.
her favorite water is Dasani, and I'll never forgive
Oh
her
God,
for it.
I
Yeah,
agree.
no,
I
no,
completely
yeah.
agree.
But the thing that should have turned me off from her was the fact that she said, I would never vote for a female president. We just can't handle it. And I was like, oh.
And like, where did she
what?
hear that? And how does she believe that? And
It was
wow.
so
yeah.
dark.
And that's
And
someone who's
those-
in LA. Like that's so
Mhm.
intense.
Yeah. Down
Yeah.
the street. The truth is there are 13 million people in this city. So
Whoa,
I
didn't
like
know
to
that.
tell my friend was like, I can't find any decent woman to date in this city. And I was like, bro, and y'all heard me say this on the podcast before, 13 million people in the city. Half of them are women. So that's 7 million women to choose from. Let's say half of that 7 million are either too young or, outside of the age range. There's never really any too old, but there is too young. And let's say half of that.
Yep.
So 3.5 million women or people that you could engage with, that you could find on some spectrum attractive because you're attracted to that gender. 3.5 million women. And let's even half that again and say like half of those people are in serious committed relationships and not interested in you. So 1.25 million women to choose from within a 2-hour drive. You
Yeah,
can't
no, I
find
don't-
one?
mm-mm.
And
You can't
people
find
look
one?
good. People are hot. Like
Good.
Right,
yeah.
Sun-kissed and
I want to get
whatnot.
into matchmaking. I mean, I don't really, but like I love setting people up because there are amazing people.
There
I
are.
think you
I've
would
done
be
it successfully
amazing
for
at that.
others. just
Yeah.
not for myself. I've got two marriages under my belt helping people.
Ma'am, great
Wow.
work.
Listen,
You know
my
what?
numbers are good.
Beautiful.
I just realized I have a marriage under my belt
Oh
now.
my
I just realized
God.
I introduced 2 people that are married.
Boom. They
So
call me on
thank you for
one
that.
of them called me on their anniversary. They're like, "It's our anniversary. Thank you." I'm like, "Yep."
You're
Oh my
welcome.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excited.
Wow.
Well, if you love anniversaries, I have to tell you, we are super excited because Miriam, you're coming up on, I don't think it's an anniversary, but more of a birth of the podcast because
Yes.
the
Birth.
X
It
Appeal,
will be
the
the
X
anniversary.
Appeal, yes,
Yeah.
the X Appeal is coming out on September 21st,
Mhm.
which we are definitely tuning in. We
Thank
cannot wait.
you.
And if you love what you've heard here from Miriam, you have to follow her. We're following her. We're obsessed. Make sure that you're following the X Appeal podcast because you may find other podcasts, but you
Yes,
want
it's
the
at
X
the
Appeal
X Appeal
podcast
on Instagram, and
It's
then
right.
TikTok and YouTube are just at X Appeal.
Mhm.
at X Appeal. Excellent. See what I did there?
Excellent.
Hey. And if you love hearing what Victoria is doing, go ahead, Victoria. Tell them where they can see you perform.
Yes, my team Affirmative Reaction, specifically the Idris's Elbas, will be doing improv September 6th at the Broadwater at 7 p.m. 7 CPT time. But come see, it's pay what you can there, so come
For
through.
us whites out there, colored people time. For us whites out there.
Yeah, it was like, take your time. It was like, ideally it's 7, but maybe
Come at
7:15.
7. Come at 7 so you're there on time.
You can figure out the
Exactly.
parking.
Right. It's pay what you can. So truly, keep it
That's
easy.
September 6th at the Broadwater on Santa Monica Boulevard out here in LA. And you can find this information and more on our social media here at Smiling Faces. You got to follow us. Yeah, you do. We follow you, girl. Send a follow, share with your friends. Oh, yeah.
Also in the show
Also,
notes.
find it in the show notes. And if you're looking for Miriam, you're going to find her on our podcast page as well. And you can find us on Instagram at Smiling Faces _series. We're on TikTok at Smiling Faces _series. You can find us on Facebook at Smiling Faces series. And you know, we got a YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/at Smiling Faces series.
We also have an official website. It's smilingfacesseries.com. Make sure to hop on there and sign up for our newsletter to get the latest and greatest of what's going on with the show. Shout out to our fiscal sponsor, Inclusivity Media, and producer, Mike Bryant, into Finally Me Productions.
Woo-hoo.
We cannot thank you enough for sharing your stories and being here with us. We are major fans. We're super
This was
nerdy.
so
I
much
love
fun.
you guys. You were really awesome.
We
This was
love
Oh my
super
gosh,
fun.
you're awesome.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Oh my God, stop. Let's do it again sometime.
Agreed.
I
Yes.
had a great
Fun
time.
hundo. And I'll kiss you both so you can be on the pod.
Perfect.
Easy.
I'll send you my address.
Great.
I'll just send you a text. You up, and then I'll share my location.
100%.
There it is.
Perfect.
Everybody have a great weekend.